Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is probably my last video. It's going to be called Custard's Last Stand. Custard's Last Stand. You know, I never dreamed that God would gift me with such talented abilities that would reach that height, you know. But, I was at my peak. That's around 95, 96ish. I was at my peak, you know. But the point of the matter is that I made a decision. I chose to share those abilities with everything that was happening around me, and I was in the South Bronx at the time, you know. And so everything that's happened during that period, it was into everything, sports, everything, other cultures, everything like that, you know. And for some reason, it lasted up to now. And I built up a mega hater operation. I honestly believe, and this is no exaggeration, that I am America's most wanted black man for having those abilities. You know, they figured, a black person with Southern roots was not supposed to, be in all the positions to produce all those mental abilities at that capacity. You know, so they came up with everything. They destroyed my reputation. They defamate my character. Just have people believe that I'm this really bad person. And now they got me out here on empty again. And they using everything, law enforcement, everything. I think so. I believe this was my last stand here in this area here. I don't think I'm going anywhere from here. Any place I go is going to be the end. So the end will be here or wherever, wherever I end up. So I'm calling this Custard Last Stand. Uh, yeah, yeah. So I've been discriminated against for a long time, a lot of different ways. I never thought it'd get to the point where now everyone wants to discriminate against me. Man, all different type of cultures and all this type of stuff. I remember a couple of months, a little while back. I made a video. It was called Trump being America's, not America, but the world's greatest scapegoat. Because everything that happens, everybody call his name Trump, 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 Trump. But there's all these other, special interests and things that's pulling the strings, saying that he has to answer to because, they're the ones who banking him for his position. And, he came in with all, corporate guys and stuff like that. But that's, we don't get deeply into that aspect of things. But nevertheless, I made that video. And I know it's after I made that video, things just started going downhill. So I know who that video might have got out to and, and that's why I'm under attack, and they're using anybody to participate in it. So that could be a linkage to it. But I've always been into social issues. Way back in the '90s when Bloomberg took over, and they started doing everything back then. But people never pay attention to that side of things. But the thing is that I used to watch the situation with, homeless situation, stuff like that on TV and stuff. It supports my opinion, evaluation of things. But this is the first time that I've actually had, hands-on experience to live in the situation, When they first threw me out in the streets for a self-defense case, it was hot of winter in 2018. And so I was out here from February until after Easter. So I was out here for 2 blizzards, around the same area here that I'm at now. I went into a shelter system, thinking that I was gonna, work my way back to where I need to be. I went to work. I started saving money, and I was just looking for the affordable housing scenario. But all the staff members and other clients and people coming in, big clients, all they could think about was ways how they could take my money away from me. So they had that out. They had it They had it at the workplace I was working at. People was coming in, they had it, in the neighborhood where I was at. They had it at the bedside around. People it was just a whole lot of mess that built up to it. I thought for me it was like the worst case. I mean, I come from the streets. This was like the worst case of petty larceny with so many participants that I ever seen in my life. I used to tell them that I worked in a residential building for like 7.5 years on the Upper East Side, and I used to get that type of money. I used to get like for Christmas bonus every year, just about plus tips during the year. And it's like they saying, well, oh, you got a Christmas bonus that everyone in the world needs to be after, but it's not just that. I know it's not just that. People hide behind so many motives, because I've been involved in so many things. I've been involved in sports. I've been involved in like what some may call entertainment, but I've been using mental abilities, with other cultures and stuff like that. It's like everybody, it's like I put I'm blacklisted for everything that needs to happen in my life at this point. I spent my 60th birthday sitting outside on a bench across the street from Grand Central Station. That's how I spent my 60th birthday. So I'm 60. But I'm grateful that everything that I had to go through in life, and I believe me, they don't know the half. I'm grateful that I was allowed 60 years of survival, persevering, and still, being a very valuable influence, in other people's lives, whether they want people to camouflage that or if the people don't want to admit it or not, they're not obligated to. But I know who I am and I know what my works are. I've been doing this for 30 years. I've been teaching my ability for 30 years. They came around and said, oh, somebody who has these abilities found something in your head that wasn't supposed to be there. But I didn't put it in my head and I didn't attach it to anything else that was going on in my life before it was in my head. But at the same time, I was trying to figure out, well, I've been doing this for 30 years. I'm actually probably one of the best who ever did it, but in all the categories and everything. But I was trying to figure out, well, how they only walking away with that aspect of things. What happened to the rest of stuff, the 50-something odd years, or now 60 years of stuff that I experienced in life, that I've been through in life, information that I had, the ways that's converted and everything, transmitted and everything. What happened to all that? And why wouldn't that take precedence over what they're proclaiming that my thought process is supposed to be all about? That I need to be penalized so much. So maybe I don't know. But right now, I feel like I called this video Custard last year. I feel like I'm America's most wanted, probably world, in some world countries, because there's a big rise in, the extremists, the far right, the Illuminati, the hate groups and stuff like that. And I said this the other day, everyone is doing their own thing, they're building their own, they're doing their own community, they're doing their own businesses, they hire their own people, and they may protest something that the government or Trump or something might do to, and because he's doing it to more than one culture, more than one, he's doing it to poor people in general, and so they may get together on that and try to protest, try to make some things happen, turn it around. But end of the day, they're going back home and now they got to figure out how they're going to handle their hate, how they discriminate against each other, how they hate each other, and but I think I've been a good influence, because I'm like the undisputed underground king, and I've done a lot of my work is they don't know the half, because a lot of it stayed underground. I've been transmitting information, receiving information. I've been doing it for almost 30 years, in newborns, from newborns to the elderly, like four generations of people. I've been involved with different cultures, producing all that. So what I see now is that they putting together a collaboration of, corruption and illegal and There you go, man. Different cultures, like everyone say, convincing everyone I'm the man that they need to command. They know if I leave this scenario, excuse me, if I leave this scenario and try to go into another system or something, because they're always in every institution that I ain't gonna handle wins. It's gonna be so, and so either I'm gonna finish right here, or they may try to arrest me, send me to jail, or they may have some cops shoot me or something. I don't know, but I do believe if by some chance I end up in another institution, something like that, it's not gonna work for me. So in closing, I'm not gonna send this video out. So whoever finds this video, they may find it erased it themselves, but I just want to make the video. Okay. In closing, I say they call me Two. I got their name from the South Bronx. The South Bronx, I'm giving it its props, is that everything is there. All the animals are there, the Bronx Zoo, all the insects are there, all the birds are there, all different types of people were there. And they wasn't there, they came in through TV, radio, particularly when I was making my run and everything else. I'm responsible for all the reality TV that you see today. Because I had my first reality scenario going on in the South Bronx before reality TV came out. That's where the general idea comes from. I was working with, talk shows, Rosie O'Donnell had her show, Reza Kathleen's show, daytime talk shows. I was doing all kind of, music shows and stuff like that, all different kind of ways, live through the radio, celebrities that were doing stuff live on the radio and stuff like that. So I actually responsible for for I guess the Kardashians and their wealth, before the first one, other reality stuff came out first. The island stuff, and the brothers and all that other stuff. And the other, they got more stations for reality. I'm responsible for all that, but people don't know that. Two from the Bronx, sounding off. Have a nice day.